Ok, entonces lo primero que vamos a hacer es verificar las respuestas de lo de Science. Entonces tenemos acá part 1, que dice que a seed that begins to grow into a plant starts to sprout or germinates. Aquí sería la palabra que sería sprout, entonces sería germinates. A single productive cell that can grow into a new plant is a spore. When scientists organize living things according to similar characteristics, they are using classification. The different stages that an animal, such as an insect, goes through as it grows and reproduces is called a life cycle. Any characteristics that helps an organism survive is considered to be an adaptation. A chart with many choices that guide you to the name of the organism or object you want to identify, it's called a dichotomous key. Ay. Entonces la A. Ay, no sé por qué esto se ve así. Ok, la A dice Raymond wants to classify. Se me perdió cosita. Raymond wants to classify an organism. The organism can be seen without a microscope. Its cells have cell walls but no chloroplasts. The organism gets food by breaking down dead organisms. Which kingdom does the organism belong to? Fungi, porque dice breaking down dead organisms. Esa es la palabra clave y es fungi. Ok. Luego dice, during the life cycle of a plant, pollen comes in contact with the stigma and an embryo forms. What is the name of this process? Fertilization. Okay, la siguiente es que está haciendo esta planta, it's reproducing. The coloring of the rough green snake allows it to blend with its background. That is a physical adaptation. Animals can be classified as vertebrates or invertebrates. Which structure must be present in order for an animal to be classified as a vertebrate? A backbone, obviamente. Aquí nos muestran una serie de pasos y es to determine whether temperature affects germination. Luego la 3 es nymph. Y la 243 es the antlion has behavioral adaptations. Aquí está diciendo que cómo cambia a nivel de comportamiento. Aquí nos dan una descripción y tenemos que ver si es plant kingdom, fungi kingdom, animal kingdom, or bacteria kingdom. Number 16 is D. They're all the same. They all have similar characteristics. Y number 17 is angiosperms. Creo que será las 243. Ok. Ok, y la otra cosa que viene, que es para el lunes, sería estudiar lo de A Movie in My Pillow. Ok, lo primero que tenemos es el genre. Entonces, el genre uses the sounds and rhythms of words to show images and express feelings. Ok, entonces dice, poetry uses the sounds and rhythms of words to show images and express feelings. Includes figurative language, esto lo han visto mucho. Acuérdense que simile es cuando usa like y as. En metaphors, las metáforas es cuando comparan dos cosas pero sin usar like or as. And sensory details. Luego dice, poetry might be organized into stanzas. Stanzas son párrafos, solamente que se le llama stanzas a nivel de poesía. Or a series of lines grouped together. Ahí está la definición. A free verse poems do not rhyme. Aquí está diciendo que los free verse poems no riman. Or have a regular rhythm. O sea que pueden tener, o puede que rimen, pero no necesariamente es regular. O sea que no es consistente. In concrete or shape poems, they have the words appear. The way the words appear helps to convey a meaning. O sea, aquí nos están dando dos tipos de poemas. Free verse poems que no riman o que tienen una rima regular. And in concrete or shape poems, la forma en la que las palabras están nos da un significado. ¿Ok? Entonces, Ok. El critical vocabulary. Ok, tenemos...
Yearning. If you are yearning for something, you want it very much and feel sad not to have it. Peter was yearning to go outside and enjoy the fresh snowfall.
Ok, so yearning means when you want something very much, cuando quieres algo mucho, and you feel sad not to have it, pero te sientes mal porque no lo tienes. Okay, that's what yearning means. It's a verb. Next one, flourishing.
Flourishing. If something is flourishing, it is growing and successful. The plant is flourishing under grandfather's care.
Okay, flourishing is basically when something is growing. Usualmente esta palabra se usa para, cuando estamos hablando de las plantas, está creciendo. O sea, en el caso de que digas que, okay, the flower is flourishing, it means that it's growing. O si estás hablando de un negocio o de un proyecto and you say that it's flourishing, it means because it's going to, because it's doing very well. Está yendo bien, o sea, it's being successful. The next one dice dedicate.
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 Writers often dedicate their work to someone, usually in the first pages of the book, to show admiration or affection. The author will dedicate his book to his sister.
Ok, dedicate suena como en español, dedicar. Esto es en el sentido como que de inspirarte o darle crédito a alguien por algo. Dice, the author will dedicate this book to his sister. El autor le va a dedicar este libro a su hermana. Okay, so it says, writers often dedicate their work to someone, usually in the first pages, en las primeras páginas del libro, to show admiration or affection. Okay? Discarded.
Discarded. A discarded object is one that has been thrown away. Some of the discarded items will go to the landfill, but many will be recycled.
Okay, discarded means like throwing away. O sea, como que botar la basura o algo así. O descartar. Dice, some of the discarded items will go to the landfill, but many will be recycled. Okay, como descartar, deshacerte. Así. Civil.
Civil. A civil war is one that happens among groups of people living within a country. One of our civil rights is the right to vote, which women had to fight for.
Ok, en este caso nos están dando como dos contextos. Cuando se refiere a civil war, is one that happens among groups of people living within the country. Cuando hablamos de una guerra civil es con los ciudadanos del mismo país, o sea, es algo que pasa interno. Pero civil también tiene que ver con ciudadano. O sea, por ejemplo, cuando hablamos de los derechos civiles, son los derechos de los ciudadanos. ¿Okay? Entonces, por ejemplo, la oración dice... one of our civil rights is the right to vote. Okay, el derecho a votar, which women had to fight for. Las mujeres tuvieron que pelear por ello. Okay, luego viene fortunate.
Fortunate. Someone who is fortunate is lucky. She's fortunate to have won all 4 games.
Okay. Fortunate significa afortunado. Someone who is fortunate is lucky. Yo no diría solamente lucky, yo también diría blessed, o sea, puede ser bendecido, porque alguien afortunado no necesariamente es porque es suertudo, ¿okay? Sino que a lo mejor puede tener privilegios, puede dar, o sea, depende mucho del contexto. She's fortunate to have won all 4 games, por ejemplo, que ella fue afortunada de ganarse todos los 4 juegos. O sea, yo no pienso que eso necesariamente sea que ella fue afortunada, o sea, fue que, o sea, le fue bien, pues no fue como que algo de suerte. Eso, en este caso yo pienso que tiene que ver con talento, bendición, así, eso me refiero. And then the last one is relatives.
Relatives. Relatives are the people in your family. My relatives gather together for our family reunion.
Okay, so that's pretty easy. So relatives are the people in your family, okay? So relatives es otra palabra para family members. Okay, entonces, a ver aquí.
Introduction. I was born near San Salvador, the capital city of El Salvador. My house stood on the edge of the San Jacinto Hill. It was a humble house with dirt floors, no running water, and no electricity. When it rained, it was beautiful to hear the drops dancing on the tin roof. All around grew fruit trees. Parakeets and other multicolored birds arrived in the mornings to eat.
Okay, to eat and sing. Ahorita va a terminar la oración. Okay, ¿por qué le puse pausa? Le puse pausa because, okay, primero, first question. Where does the main character, ¿verdad? The main character, where was it born? ¿En qué ciudad y en qué país? Where was it born? Okay, si nos dicen y que my house stood on the edge of San Jacinto Hill, it was a humble house with dirt floors, no running water, and no electricity. Si hay una casa que dice with dirt floors, o sea, con pisos de tierra, no running water, no hay agua potable, no, o sea, no hay agua, and no electricity, does that mean that this person is poor or is it rich? ¿Es de bajos recursos o es adinerada? That's your first question. Well, that was two questions, actually. Y the word parakeets es como periquitos, okay? Like this one right here.
And sing. Surrounded by all this beauty, I didn't realize how poor most of us were. We were yearning for change, but a few powerful people in our country didn't want change. The result was a bloody civil war. From 19...
Okay, what was a civil war? ¿Qué era lo que significaba civil war? Civil war es una guerra entre los mismos ciudadanos, okay? Adentro del país.
1980 to 1990, more than 500,000 of us fled to the United States. Today, there are flourishing Salvadoran communities in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and other cities.
Okay, pausa. Flourishing. What did the word flourishing mean? Why? Are they doing good? Are they doing bad? Okay? That's what that means. Dice, these poems are based on my life. Entonces serían true events or made up events. Serían eventos reales o eventos inventados. When I first came to this country, how much I miss my homeland. Homeland significa como que mi país o mi tierra. How fortunate I was to be alive in San Francisco. These poems are my memories, my dreams, the movies in my pillow. I dedicate them, lo que vimos ahí, la dedicatoria, to all the children from El Salvador and to the children everywhere, with the hope that we may all have a beautiful tomorrow.
Wonders of the City. Here in the city, there are wonders everywhere. Here, mangoes come in cans. In El Salvador, they grew on trees. Here, chickens come in plastic bags. Over there, they slept beside me. Pupusas. Pupusas are round, like the letter O.
Okay, pausa. So, what are we comparing? ¿Qué es lo que estamos comparando acá? Okay, first of all, we are in the supermarket. Okay, we're in the supermarket. The first thing that it says, here mangoes come in cans. Cans son latas. Okay, here are the mangoes. In El Salvador, they grew in trees. Okay, está viendo la diferencia el hecho que venden mangos en latas. Here, chickens come in plastic bags. Okay, hoy en día nadie o muy pocas personas bueno, no muy pocas personas, o sea, no todo el mundo tiene gallinas en su casa para luego matarlas y luego comérselas, okay? Most people buy their chickens, their chickens in the supermarket. Okay? Entonces él dice que here chickens come in plastic bags, over there they slept beside me. Dice, en aquel lado, de aquel lado ellos dormían al lado mío.
Pupusas are the most delicious memory of home. Pupusas are what I found on the table when Mama called me in the afternoons. Jorgito, come and eat. Pupusas is pronounced pupusas. Jorgito is pronounced Jorgito. Pupusas are tasty cheese meat pies made of corn, a specialty of El Salvador.
Okay, so here they tell us what are pupusas, right? And it says pupusas are round like a circle, like the letter O. And, aquí, we have, what is this? Would this be a simile or would this be a metaphor? Esto que dice, pupusas are round like the letter O. Okay? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Pause the video if you can. Okay, the answer is, that is a simile because it has like. Okay, now it says pupusas are the most delicious memory of home. Pupusas are what are found on the table when mama called me in the afternoon. Jorgito, come and eat. Y aquí les explica qué son las pupusas.
When we left El Salvador to come to the United States, Papa and I left in a hurry one early morning in December.
Okay, when did they leave? What month of the year? What month of the year? And where did they go to? ¿A dónde fueron?
We left without saying goodbye to relatives, friends, or neighbors. I didn't say goodbye to Neto, my best friend. I didn't say goodbye to Koki, my happy-talking parakeet. I didn't say goodbye to Miss Shasha Shisha, my very dear doggie. When we left El Salvador in a bus, I couldn't stop crying because I had left my mama, my little brothers, and my grandma behind. Relatives. Relatives are the people in your family.
Okay, so Jorgito. Okay, who is Jorgito? Is he the main character? Is he not the main character? La historia está contada en qué punto de vista. ¿Quién la está contando? El primer punto de vista, o sea, first point of view, que es cuando hablamos de I, my, we, tal. O the third person point of view, que es cuando se habla de el niño, tal cosa. Okay? That's your question. A ver, otra cosa. ¿Qué otra cosa? ¿Qué otra cosa? When we left El Salvador in a bus, I couldn't stop crying because I had left my mama, my little brothers, and my grandma behind. So imagine all the amount of people he left behind.
Soup of stars. Many nights we would go to bed without eating. We would look up at the stars. The stars were our soup. With the war, streets became so lonely. Doors were made of metal. Wind kept on howling, and we never went out to play.
Okay, soup of stars. What do you think that means? ¿Qué significa soup of stars? ¿Qué tipo de figurative language es esa? ¿A qué se está refiriendo el autor con eso? A ver si me perdió el cosito. Aquí está. Many nights we would go to bed without eating. We would look up at the stars, and the stars were our soup. With the war, streets became so lonely. Doors were made of metal, wind kept howling, and we were never out of to play. Okay, why do you think the doors were made of metal? ¿Por qué ahora pusieron las puertas de metal? My bicycle.
My bicycle. My bicycle is purple and taller than me. My bicycle is a spotted horse, faster than the wind. My bicycle is a dragon dancing. Cumbias, all the way to El Salvador. Cumbias is pronounced cumbias. The cumbia is a joyful tropical dance, very popular in Latin America. Shadow. Shadow. I love you, but sometimes you make me mad, because every time we race, you always win. My bicycle. My bicycle is purple and taller than me. My bicycle is a spotted horse, faster than the wind. My bicycle is a dragon dancing. Cumbias, all the way to El Salvador. Cumbias is pronounced cumbias. The cumbia is a joyful tropical dance, very popular in Latin America. Shadow. Shadow, I love you, but sometimes you make me mad, because every time we race, you always win.
Okay. Cuando nos dice... Ay, Jesús. Ay, tengo 1%. No te pagues. Ok. Ajá. Entonces, cuando nos dice my bicycle is a spotted horse. Faster than the wind. My bicycle is a dragon dancing. What do you think the author is referring to by saying that? Ok, y acá cuando habla de sombra, shadow significa sombra. Shadow, I love you, but sometimes you make me mad. Because every time we race, you always win. ¿Por qué le diría a él de que cada vez que hacen carreras, por qué gana siempre la sombra? Who is he playing with? Is he playing with somebody else? ¿Está jugando con alguien más? Or is he playing by himself? Let's see.
My papa's orange truck. Vroom. My papa's orange truck roars through the streets every afternoon. When I see Papa in his orange truck in front of my school, I run and take a big jump to sit next to him. Vroom. We go off laughing, looking for discarded cardboard everywhere. I flatten the cardboard boxes with my fists, pretending to be a boxer. Then I jump on top of the boxes like on a trampoline. Papa shakes my hand and tells me, "Gracias, mijo." Thank you, my son. Vroom. Now my papa's orange truck looks like a pyramid on wheels. Mijo is pronounced mijo. Discarded. A discarded object is one that has been thrown away.
Okay, so what we have now, primera pregunta es, how does the author, or the speaker, la persona que está hablando, que nos está echando el cuento, how does he help his father after school? ¿Qué es lo que hacen? Okay? And la respuesta, okay, pause the video. Y cuando ya sepa la respuesta, then listen to it. Okay, the answer is, he helps his father collect cardboard boxes, cajas de cartón, and flatten them so they will fit in the back of the pickup truck. Y las aplasta para que quepan en la parte de atrás de la camioneta. To what does the speaker compare jumping on the cardboard boxes? ¿Con qué compara el hecho de saltar en las cajas de cartón? To what? The answer is here. Oh, actually no. It's here. Ajá, dice, then I jump on top of the boxes like on a trampoline. Like on a trampoline, como en un trampolín. ¿Y eso qué sería? Would that be a metaphor or would that be a simile? Si tenemos la palabra like. That would be a simile. Okay? ¿Y con qué compara? To what does the speaker or the author, cualquiera de los dos, compare the truck filled with a stack of cardboard? Now, Papa's orange truck looks like a pyramid on wheels. Okay, dice que parece una pirámide. Perdón, una pirámide con ruedas. Next page.
Yo-yo. I have a yo-yo that makes me crazy, but I can't stop playing yo-yo. I play yo-yo in the mornings, yo-yo in the middle of the day, yo-yo in the afternoons, yo-yo at night. Yo-yo, yo-yo, yo-yo. I dream yo-yo. I walk yo-yo. I eat yo-yo. I am a yo-yo.
Okay. Ok, algo que se me olvidó mencionar acá. Ajá, acá estas palabras como broom, ok. Eso es onomatopoeia, but no sé, eso se llama onomatopoeia. También es un figurative language, pero no sé si ustedes lo han conversado. Pero bueno, cualquier cosa, estas cosas así, todas las palabras que le escriban sonido, así como que bam, boom, rum, todas esas son onomatopoeias, ¿ok? Ok, otra cosa que mencionan en el libro es que what's the tone. Acuérdense que el tone es lo que nosotros sentimos, the feeling you get from reading the story, ¿ok? Cuando nosotros leemos este párrafo, what's the tone, ¿ok? Is it sad? Is it angry? Is it joyful? Happy? ¿Cómo es? ¿Ok? And the answer would be joyful, playful, excited, cualquiera de esos. Ok, volviendo a lo del yo-yo. ¿Qué otra cosa? How's the way the author arranges the lines and poems seek they're doing? Bueno, aquí lo interesante es que no usa ni comas ni puntos, sino que todo es seguido. Okay, next one.
Voice from home. From my Uncle Alfredo, I received a great surprise, a package in the mail from El Salvador. Inside, I found a tape with my grandma's voice, talking and singing to me in Nahuatl and Spanish. Jorge, maybe you will never come back. Remember when you sat next to me on the riverbank? Jorge, don't forget that in Nahuatl, Tetl means stone, and Nayalatl means my heart. Nahuatl is pronounced na-wa-tul. Nahuatl is an indigenous language spoken in parts of Mexico and El Salvador.
Ok. Ok. Primero nos mencionan otra persona, ya no solamente que el papá, sino que ahora tenemos al Uncle Alfredo, and he sent him a package from El Salvador. ¿Y qué tenía ese package? El package tenía un tape with grandma's voice, talking and singing in Nahuatl and Spanish. Entonces, ¿qué es Nahuatl? Nahuatl is an indigenous language spoken in parts of Mexico and El Salvador. Es un lenguaje indígena, ¿ok? Un dialecto. Entonces dice, Jorge, maybe you will never come back. Remember when you sat next to me on the riverbank? Jorge, don't forget that in Nahuatl, tel means stone, and Niyotl means my heart. ¿Ok? Entonces esa es la abuela, esto es lo que decía el tape que le mandó la abuela.
Language of the birds. I used to speak only Spanish. Now I can speak English too. And in my dreams, I speak in Nahuatl, the language my grandma says her people, the Pipiles, learned from the birds. The Pipiles are an indigenous people of El Salvador who speak Nahuatl, the language of the Aztecs. My grandma's stories. I call my grandma Mita, an affectionate term for mi abuelita, my grandma. Mita's stories filled her shack with stars. Mita's stories put smiles on our faces. Mita's stories are old like the mountains. Mita's stories are like the songs of the crickets. If I close my eyes, I hear them in the wind.
Okay. Entonces, what language does the speaker know? ¿Qué idiomas habla la persona que nos está echando el cuento, or the author, or the narrator, whatever you want to call it? Well, he knows Spanish, he knows English, and he knows Nahuatl. Okay? The Pipiles learn from the birds. Y le dice que the Pipiles are an indigenous people. Okay? Son indígenas de El Salvador que hablan Nahuatl, que es el idioma de los aztecas. Okay? That's what that means. Ahí nos dicen, acá nos hacen también la referencia de que Mita se refiere a abuela, ¿okay? Como abuelita, pues le dicen Mita. Entonces, a ver qué otra cosa nos dicen acá. How do you know Peter? Ok. Entonces dice, if I were to ask you, acá cuando nos dice que Mita Stories filled her shack with stars. Mita Stories put smiles on our faces. Entonces yo les pregunto, ¿cómo hacía sentir? How did Mita Stories make the author feel, make the speaker feel? Happy, because it says put smiles on our faces. Mita Stories are old like the mountains. Eso que les está... Ok, aquí cuando dice are old like the mountains, ¿esto qué es? ¿Esto qué sería? Are old like the mountains. ¿Un simile o un metaphor? It would be a simile again, porque tenemos like. Mita Stories are like the sons of the crickets. ¿Qué sería esto? ¿Un simile o un metaphor? It would be a simile, porque tiene like. Aquí está comparando los Mita Stories como las canciones de crickets son los grillos.
Family nest. Today, my mama and my little brothers arrived from El Salvador. I hardly recognize...
Ok, ¿quién llegó? It says, today my mama and my little brother... ¿qué hice mi cola? No sé qué hice, ajá. Today my mama and my little brothers arrived from El Salvador. Entonces, ¿quién llegó? The author's mother and his brothers, okay? Acaban de llegar to the United States.
Recognize them. But when we hug each other, we feel like a big nest with all the birds inside. The best guide in town. Let's go see the city. Today, I'll be your guide, I tell my mama and my little brothers. There are so many things I want to show you. Gardens that walk by on the hands of women. Little city trains that go in and out of the open mouths of mountains. Giant buildings that pick up stars from the ground and put them in the sky.
¿Qué otra cosa? A ver qué nos dice aquí. How does the speaker describe the flowers? Ajá, in stanza number 59, there are so many things. Acá, está aquí, está acá. ¿Dónde está la cosa? Esta se me perdió otra vez. Aquí está. Ay, se me descargó el lápiz. Ok, esta. Que dice, there are so many things I want to show you. Gardens that walk by on the hands for women. Ok. ¿Qué dice? Entonces dice, how does the speaker describe the flowers? ¿Y dónde dice algo de los flowers? ¿Qué? Gardens. No entendí. Ok, ignoren eso que iba a decir. ¿Qué otra cosa hay por acá? Ok, ya creo que no más nada.
A band of parakeets. Every Saturday morning, Mama and Papa, my little brothers and I, walk on 24th Street. We are like a band of parakeets flying from San Francisco to El Salvador and back again.
Okay. Ok, aquí está importante porque dice que we are like a band of parakeets. Aquí están comparando dos cosas. Is that a metaphor? Is that a simile? We are like a band of parakeets. Would that be a metaphor or un simile? It's a simile porque tiene like. Okay, from El Salvador, from San Francisco to El Salvador. Entonces, estoy viendo aquí las preguntas del study guide. Who is the author of the poems? ¿Cómo se llama el autor? Who's the author? Okay, his name is Jorge Argueta.